All right, let's talk about something really interesting today. We're not just learning a new tactic or a little life hack. We're going deeper. We're going to talk about upgrading the very system that runs everything else in your head, your internal operating system.
So, does any of this sound familiar? You know that feeling, right? Where you're just spinning your wheels. You've got the motivation, you know you're capable, but for some reason, the results just aren't matching all the effort you're putting in. It's super frustrating, and it turns out the problem probably isn't you.
And that's really the core idea here. Your mind isn't broken, you're not the problem, it's just that the software we're all running, our beliefs, our daily habits, our focus, it might just be a little buggy, a little outdated. So today, we're going to install a much-needed update. Look, we're not trying to change the fundamental hardware here. You are who you are. The whole point is to optimize how you run. We're talking smoother performance, more efficiency, and way, way fewer of those days where the whole system just seems to spiral and crash for what feels like no good reason. Okay, so let's get into our first module, patching your beliefs. This is all about hunting down those little software bugs, those limiting beliefs that are so good at disguising themselves as logic and secretly slowing you down. I love this quote, because it's so true. These limiting beliefs, they rarely sound dramatic or crazy. They sound really reasonable, right? Like, oh, I'll just wait until I know more, or I'm just not an expert yet. But really, more often than not, it's just fear dressed up to look like a practical thought. And check this out, this is where the magic happens. A simple rewrite can totally change the game. Look at this shift here on the screen. We go from a belief that says, I can't start until I'm perfect, to one that says, action is how I learn. We go from seeing feedback as this big, scary judgment to seeing it for what it is, just data. So how do we actually install this patch? Well, it's a pretty simple three-step process. First, you just got to identify one or two of those beliefs that always seem to hold you back. Step 2, rewrite them into something that actually helps you take action. And step 3, and this one is absolutely crucial, you have to prove that new belief is true with one small, tiny action. Taking that real-world step, no matter how small, starts to wire it into your brain, making the new belief feel more real. That's how the new software starts to stick. All right, on to Module 2. Now that our beliefs are patched, we need a solid framework to run on. This is where we install a core structure, a simple system that builds consistency, even on the days you don't feel motivated at all.
And I want you to forget all those super complicated color-coded calendar systems that honestly take more time to manage than they actually save. The heart of this entire structure is built on just 3 simple blocks. That's it. This is all about being effective, not being complicated.
Now this is a really important mindset shift. We hear the word balance all the time, but let's be real. It often just makes us feel like we're failing. So instead, the goal here is consistency. Consistency is something you can actually build, like a muscle, and it's so much more powerful than chasing some perfect, mythical state of balance. So here are the 3 core blocks of what we're calling the time blocking triage. Each one has a very specific job. You've got your personal block, which is your fuel, your creative block for your product, and your business block for your system. Let's break them down really quick. First up, your fuel block. This is about 30 to 60 minutes that are just for you, preferably before the world starts asking for things. And there's one non-negotiable rule. No inputs from other people. That means no email, no social media. This time is for filling up your own tank so you can start the day proactively, not reactively. Next is the product block. This is your sacred time for deep work. This is for actual output. This is when you write, you create, you build, you finish things. The crucial rule here? One task. Only one. No multitasking. Your brain can either create or it can consume. In this block, you create. And finally, the system block. Think of this as your time to be the CEO of your own operation. It's for emails, planning, organizing, all the stuff that keeps the machine running. And the rule here? Don't let this turn into a creative block in disguise. This is for managing the system, not for tinkering with the product.
And all of this leads to the core takeaway for this whole section. Progress flows to structure. When you have a reliable system, you don't have to wait for willpower or inspiration to show up. The structure itself is what carries you forward.
Okay, so we've patched our beliefs, we've installed our structure. The final part of our OS upgrade is to set up a purpose filter. And note, this isn't about finding some grand lifelong mission. It's actually way more practical than that. Let's just demystify this word purpose for a second. In our new operating system, purpose is simply clarity. It's knowing what is most important in this current season of your life or your work. It's focused on the present, it's simple, and it's incredibly powerful.
And here's the big idea. Purpose isn't some magic wand that just motivates you. It works like a filter. A clear purpose helps you look at a dozen different things you could be doing and instantly know which ones are worth your energy and which ones are just noise. It's a tool for making better decisions and avoiding burnout.
So, how do you set this filter? Well, it all starts with one key question you can ask yourself. What am I actually trying to build right now, in this specific season? Not in 5 years, but like this month, this quarter. Just answering that one question can bring so much focus.
And then there's the flip side of that coin, which is just as important. What are you holding on to that's just draining your energy? A lot of times these are things we do out of habit or obligation. A clear purpose gives you the permission you need to just let go of what isn't serving the main goal anymore. And that's not failure, it's focus.
And just like that, the reboot is complete. We've patched the beliefs, we've installed the structure, and we've set the filter. So what does your new internal operating system actually look like now that it's up and running?
Well, your system is now running with 3 powerful new features. You've got beliefs that are rewritten to support action, you've got a simple daily structure you can actually stick with, and you have a sharp filter to focus your energy only on what really matters right now.
You know, the payoff for this whole upgrade isn't about hustling harder. It's actually the opposite. It leads to a quieter, less chaotic mind, and that allows for more focused, direct, and efficient action. You end up doing less, but what you do actually matters more.
So, the only question left is, with this clearer, more powerful internal operating system humming along in the background, what are you going to build first? What's that first step you're going to take? The field is wide open.